get started with masking basics in Lightroom Classic. Lightroom masks are used to apply targeted selective image adjustments, and they can be the primary edit or they can be a fine tuning after you've made global adjustments. The masking tools are now found in the row just below the histogram by tapping the last icon in this row. It's the circle with the dashed border. So you'll notice this is the same icon in Lightroom on the phone or on a tablet. And it used to be that in this row, the brush, the linear gradient, and the radial gradient were right in this area. So they didn't go away. They're now combined with these new features, Select Subject and Select Sky, which are artificial intelligence, and then also having the ability to utilize color range, luminance range, and depth range to make this a really powerful upgrade. So remember, you can open and close this by tapping on the icon. Now, another important thing to know is that you can move this outside. You can undock this. And so let's go ahead and create a mask utilizing the artificial intelligence. So we'll select the subject, and you can see it does a pretty good job. However, it's a little bit hard to see. So if you tap into the ellipse in the bottom right, the 3-dot menu, and you select white on black, you'll get to see what that mask really looks like. You can toggle it on and off by ticking and unticking this checkbox Show Overlay. So now that I can see what this mask looks like, I'm going to go back to Color Overlay. I'm going to add to the mask by selecting the brush. I can control the brush here, these tools within this part of the panel, and I can also use my trackpad or my mouse to control the size of the brush. So I'm just going to come over here to the left-hand side, and I'm going to very quickly select the rest of the petals of this rose, and then I'm going to quickly toggle into the black and white again to see how that did. And I can clearly see that I need to clean up this mask, and I can do it very quickly or more quickly in black and white, right? So now I'll come up here. I do have auto mask on as well. You'll see that right here under density, right? And that helps to constrain. And again, this is a quick demonstration, so I'm not worrying too much about making it perfect. So now I'll go back here and let's make some really quick moves. The other thing I want to point out is I did mention that this panel can be docked and undocked, and it can be expanded and collapsed. So you'll see you can turn off the mask, turn on the mask, you can collapse and expand, and you can change your overlay, and you can tap into your mask. You can think of these like a layer in Photoshop. It's not as powerful as a layer in Photoshop, but it's similar in that when I tap into the name, where right now it just says Mask 1, so let's actually rename that. We'll call this Rose, and then when I click on Rose, I can see 2 sub-masks within this Rose container. Now what I want to do is, again, give you an idea of the changes that I can make. So pretty quickly, I'm just going to bring up the white. I'm going to reduce the highlights a little bit to see a little more detail in the petals. I'm going to maybe boost the saturation a touch, and I'll increase the texture a little bit, and the clarity, I think I might pull it down a little bit, and then come into the sharpness just a bit, and I'm happy with that. So I will call that good enough, and I will turn the mask on and off just by tapping this eye icon over here on the right. so you can see the little changes that were made. And now what I'd like to do is, you're probably familiar with what a study is. It's that look where the background is knocked out to pure black. There are a lot of famous photographs where this effect has been used. So let's take a look at how to do that. I will take the rose mask and I will duplicate it and invert it. And now you'll see that I have the background selected. And again, let's go to white on black, and now you can see we've got the inverse. We'll turn that back to color overlay, and now with a few very quick moves, maybe even just one move, I'll be able to pull down that background to black. It looks like I still have some detail over here, so let me pull down my blocks even further to do that, and you can see how quick that was done. To complete my mask for this video, I'm just going to go ahead and tap done, and now that puts away the masks, and there you can see that I have the look that I wanted very, very quickly.